married. Aaron and I lived together for a year and a half. We've both been through some tough times. We're both very free and don't follow the rules at all. And I don't know, we were just kind of pretty much just having fun, living together, and all of a sudden, bam, I'm pregnant. And I don't know, when we first found out, it was arguments all the time, what to do. And we both agreed on keeping the child. We both agreed on we get married. I don't remember if we ever talked about having kids.
We talked about having kids, but we weren't planning on having kids. We talked about it as, what if, or, sure.
When, or, yeah.
Do you want children? Do you want children? That kind of thing. It was, sure, I wasn't thinking so soon, but
we were playing.
I don't mind, yeah.
So we had these discussions pretty early on in our relationship, and it was clear from the outset that neither of us were very interested in having children. So it was a mutual thing.
And in fact, I was so sure of it that, still in my young 20s, I went to a urologist and asked him to do a vasectomy on me, and he was extremely reluctant to do a vasectomy on somebody at my age. And we talked about it for a long time, and he wanted to talk to Pam about it, and he eventually did it, but it was clear that this was not something that happened very often in his profession.
For me, I'll speak a little bit about the maternal instinct that women are supposed to have. I've never felt it. I like children, I love playing with children, but I've never felt the need to have a baby and be responsible for a baby. And in fact, it scares me to death. The whole concept of having to completely change my lifestyle and be responsible for this person. There's nothing inside of me that tells me I need to do this. So that's always been a driving force for me to not have children.
Like Pam, I've never had, an innate desire to have a baby around. Just not in me. And so since that's not there, all I tend to think about when I think about that issue, as I have many times, is all of the negatives. So I'm sure most parents recognize, the negatives, the time and the energy that it takes to do a good job raising a kid, but they want one so badly that it's fine. If you don't want one, then it's just the negatives, and that's pretty much where it is.
Yeah. Well, I think one distinct advantage is just, the freedom to do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. We can pick up and go on a trip, go to a remote research site. We can just abandon ship at any moment. Well, within constraints, of course. And to me, that's really, really important. It always has been in my life, a really important thing to be able to do whatever I want whenever I want it. And I think we both really enjoy that freedom tremendously.
Well, for myself, I think the biggest thing is to recognize that it is a decision. I have a sense that to many people it's just the natural thing to do. Like, you feel hungry, you eat, and it is a decision. I think it's an incredibly important decision, and I'm not really sure that most people perceive it that way and think carefully about what it means to them and their futures. And, I wouldn't encourage people to have kids or to not have kids. I would encourage them to think about it really carefully.